Om Ajnanam Timrandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Savapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadbhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishnavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatu Bevacha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Yes, everybody just pray for Sridhar's parents so that the soul goes on to the further journey towards Krishna. Okay, so we have been doing chapter 4. Either when you left, I suppose, do you remember what verse you were there that time?
For
We had started 4, yeah. Then we had a 2 week, 8 or 7, 8. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. So the connection between chapter 3 and chapter 4. Quickly, I'll do the very quick review because I want to now increase the speed and move a little fast. So chapter 3 was where it leaves us is it talks about the lust, right? About the lust. And then chapter 4 is Krishna is giving the knowledge how to deal with that. Okay, simple. So because it says that, right, lust is our enemy, right, and how to and the way the lust is hiding, how to attack it, right? We talked about. Now Krishna is giving the knowledge how to further deal with it, and that's where this Gyan Yoga is being spoken. And in this chapter, Krishna talks about that this knowledge has always existed. It is coming in parampara. Okay, and then Krishna talks about that about his appearance and disappearance. He's telling that the people who know about his appearance and disappearance, they don't take birth again in this world. And why they don't take the birth in this world again? Because they know Krishna is not human. Krishna is God, and they have the complete understanding of that, and they live their life based on that. Right? That's the reason Krishna is telling that the people who know the divine appearance and disappearance about my my divine appearance and disappearance on this material world, they don't take birth again. That is the knowledge of that is the crux of the Bhagavad Gita. Why Bhagavad Gita? That we are all part and parcel of the God. There is one supreme Lord. All the demigods, everybody is working to support him. Right? Everybody is helping. It's one system. So there is no ambiguity. We know it. We won't take birth again. provided we are living that life. Okay, so that was up to 10. Okay, then 11 to 15, Krishna is the creator, kilometer of all parts. Like, so this some of the very nice verses, practical verses where we are. Krishna reciprocates the way we approach him. So if I do 1 centimeter, Krishna will do 1 centimeter. If I do 2 centimeter, Krishna will do 2 centimeter, right? So if I love him, let's say if I was spending 1 hour focusing on Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. Compared to a person who is, let's say, doing 8 hours of service, Krishna will reciprocate little more. Compared to somebody who's not thinking about Krishna at all, so Krishna will reciprocate. So Krishna is reciprocal. He's not partial. He's reciprocal. It's a relationship. So as you all will be seeing, observing in our own life, as we are trying to work towards this knowledge, trying to do the service, you might be seeing some realization yourself. You will be seeing the changes within yourself. Anybody would like to do any comment on that? And any comment on that? Do anybody have observed anything so far?
Not in terms of Krishna, but definitely helps satisfy your soul.
Okay.
It's yeah, it feels really good compared to any other thing that you do.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Shiva Prabhu?
Sometimes like we do service like without expecting anything, right? So that times like even if we do many things outside of our spiritual activities, so there is a sense of satisfaction, like whether it is small thing or big thing, there is no measure and there is no expectation. Feel like okay, we did something good, so that pacifiers get some peace.
Okay. Santosh Prabhuji?
Well, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
I want to share a different perspective, if that's fine.
Sure. Yes,
I think, at least for me, when I started getting serious about Krishna consciousness, I saw that I got distracted by Maya several times, I'll give a couple of examples. So I think in 2022, I encountered my health situation. And even before that, I think same year, a year before, my wife got pregnant and we stopped eating like meat and all. And and when I started getting serious about Krishna consciousness, I think couple of times I was offered meat and eggs and non-vegetarian food. For example, I usually order grocery from walmart.com. It gets delivered, and one day chicken was delivered, it was not in our order, and the bag had packaged with my name on the label, so that was surprising. We gave it to our neighbor, by the way. And similarly, there were times where I was offered eggs or omelets, and in my dreams also I kept seeing few things, like calm and lust related dreams. So I know Krishna reciprocates, but I think even before that, Maya comes and tests you, basically. That's the perspective I wanted to share.
It's
Or
very
personal
good.
experience.
No, thank you for sharing personal, and that's very true. Because and that tells you that this is such a sublime path, and Maya has to do her work. She has been given a charge that okay, these people, they want to enjoy their desire, help them enjoy their desire, right? Now we are saying no. I know I want to serve Krishna because that's my eternal duty. So Maya says, okay, are you really serious? And then we get these kind of stuff, right? So the enticing will happen, and the more you progress, sometimes there will be a lot of enticing, but if you persist, the results are beautiful.
And it happens the other way. Prabhuji, the experience is Maya coming, trying to show her energy, right? When we are serious enough and when we are putting honest efforts, the same nature will keep on supporting you in whatever the way you are moving.
Yes.
And for example, you make a wish good wish, I mean, which is in the spiritual path, that gets fulfilled by some or other way.
Right.
And only thing is we should be open to receive that.
Yes.
For example, if I am looking for some clarifications on certain things, I have lot of ambiguity on certain situation, that gets clarified with some or other person. The only thing is we have to be open to understand that and to realize it. So that happens in every moment.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, very good observation, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Very good observation. Yes. So initially Krishna will support us because when he knows that we are weak, he will support us a lot.
Yes.
And in fact, he will deal with the Maya also. He will deal with the Maya also because I have some experiences where it would have been disaster, but then Krishna came and he protected. So it happens. But as we start becoming stronger, then Maya, or many times it's not Maya. Krishna tests us. So it seems that it's Maya, but Krishna is testing us. He will come in the form of Maya, right? So, but that is as we advance more. Okay, so we don't need to worry too much, but it's the beauty of Krishna, how we can see Krishna in our day-to-day life. And so some of the things you can see, your determination will increase. Okay, as you're making progress, your determination to hear more, to do more, your attitude, the way you deal with your spouse, your children, everything will start seeing changing, and other people will observe. You won't observe too much because changing was happening, right? This is a continuation. So we think we are the same. Other people notice. Other people will notice. Okay, so definitely you will see that. So then last week we talked about Krishna has created these 4 varnas and ashrama, and those are a division. It's not the caste system. This 4 division is based on varna and ashrama. So means what is my guna? What is my guna? Based on that, it is supposed to be divided. But then what has happened in the last 100 years or so? People have created into caste system, and that is for their own good, because the Brahman thought, I need to be respected. Initially, they used to be teacher. They will be like real Brahman, but now they want to make money, so they will just claim, okay, I am Brahman, so my son will also be Brahman. Whether they show the Brahmanical caliber or not, and to do that, they create the caste system, and they say, you are Shudra, you should be just like that, right? They just want to control, but that is not what it is, right? So, and that Bhagavad Gita is a proof here, right? So these are the things which we have covered. So we will starting from verse 16 today. All right. Kim karma kim akarmat, kim karma kim akarmati,
Kim karma kim karmati,
kavyo api atra mohita,
mohita
tattate karma pravakshami,
tate karma pravakshami
yagnatva mokshasya shubhat.
yajkyatva mokshasya shubhat.
Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. So now Krishna is again touching Hare Krishna Mataji. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining. Mata, you ऊपर आराम से बैठ जाओ. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. So now Krishna is going to the subject of karma again. Because see, now we are in material world. We need to know how to live this world. For that, we have to understand what is karma. So now Krishna is going deeper again. Okay. Mataji, nice tilak. You put the nice tilak. Okay. Yeah. So he's going to tell us a little bit more today. What is action and what is inaction? So when you say that inaction, so what comes to your mind when you think inaction? What comes in your mind?
Living the duties.
Okay. What else? Inaction.
Not doing anything is
Not
the cause.
Yeah. Inaction. So a lot of people you are speaking with the Krishna knowledge. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. But typically, inaction, matlab,
Not doing
no, I'm not doing anything. I'll sit. I'm not. So that's inaction, right? That's the understanding. Okay. But we have learned, right, different things, and Krishna is going to further explain. Now I shall explain to you what is action, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. So what is the action he's going to explain? So this is the next 5-6 verses, again very practical. So action in Krishna consciousness has to be executed in accord with the examples of previous bona fide devotees. Now why Prabhupada is writing this purport? Okay, why Prabhupada is writing this purport? This line. Can anybody tell me? Why he's telling that one has to follow the previous bona fide devotees?
It is very hard to understand the duties of oneself. Like it's very hard to decipher the Vedas and Puranas by oneself. So it's much more easier to follow the footsteps of other saintly people.
Very good. Yeah, law of karma are very hard to understand. Okay, and that's the reason the best thing is follow the teacher, and they should be bona fide. We shouldn't just follow somebody just like that. Okay, then we'll get into different kind of issues. So that's the reason having a teacher, a mentor, bona fide is very important in our life. This is recommended in the 15th verse. Why such action should not be independent will be explained in the text to follow. To act in Krishna consciousness, one has to follow the leadership of authorized person who are in line of disciplic succession as explained in the beginning of this chapter, right? Evam parampara praptam, right? It says that parampara, Krishna is telling this parampara, I gave it to the sun god and how, right? Otherwise, even the most intelligent men will be bewildered regarding the standard action of Krishna consciousness. For this reason, the Lord decided to instruct Arjuna in Krishna consciousness directly. Because of the direct instruction of the Lord to Arjuna, anyone who follows in the footsteps of Arjuna is certainly not bewildered. Now we understand why Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to the Arjuna. Arjuna already knew about it, but then he was put into a condition so that he can inquire those questions, so the Bhagavad Gita can be spoken. Okay, and then he instructed when Arjuna was in the most difficult situation in his life, battlefield, the biggest battle. Everybody is going to get killed, right? He has the smaller army compared to the other army. The stakes are high, right? It's a life and death situation. In that situation, how to make the decision, right? So the whole situation was created to speak this Bhagavad Gita to become it to be more impactful. Okay. So that's the reason we need to, if we really want to make progress, we have to follow in the footsteps of who?
The devotees who have
Arjuna. Yeah, of course, devotee, and here the example is Arjuna. Okay, footstep of Arjuna. Okay, next verse. कर्मणो हे अपि बोध्यव्यम
कर्मणोऽपि बोद्धव्यम्
बोध्यवं च विकर्मणयम्
बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः
अकर्मणश्च बोध्यव्यम्
कर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम्
गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. So, what action means? See, what is action, forbidden action, and inaction. So, which is translated into karma, vikarma, akarma. Okay. So, akarma is inaction, but what is inaction truly? Krishna will further explain. So, to understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. So, to really understand Krishna consciousness, we have to understand what is my relationship with Krishna. Right? So, we talked about the identity, right? Our initial identity is with the body. And then once we understand that we are not the body, we are soul. Then further what we learn? That the soul is part and parcel of Supreme. Now we are understanding. right? So now with that understanding, now we will understand what is action and what is inaction. Otherwise, inaction is not doing anything. Action means doing something, because that is on the body. That's where it makes sense, right? If I'm using my hand to chop something, that's action. If I'm not using it, in inaction. But let's
What is forbidden action here?
Vikarma, Mataji. Vikarma means if you do it, we get lot of sin. It is prohibited by the scriptural injunctions. And like killing, we have to be compassionate, right? Not troubling people like that. So one who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness, right? So we just talked about everybody is eternal servitor of the Lord. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusion against this consciousness and its attendant actions are vikarma or prohibited actions. So now you understand what becomes vikarma. So vikarma, we say that hey, killing somebody or okay. So that is good. That is at the level of bodily platform. We shouldn't kill anybody. But then if we have to understand the bigger picture. Okay, I have come from Krishna, I am part and parcel of Krishna, and my dharma is to serve Krishna. Now anything we see, we have to see from that angle. So now action and inaction will be explained with that. And what Prabhupada is telling that if anything which we do which doesn't follow this principle that we are part and parcel of Krishna, our role is to serve him. If we don't follow that, then in a way we are doing vikarma. So in the material life, if we are just living our life, taking care of our family member, just going and working at Boeing, Microsoft, Amazon, whatever places, we are doing vikarma. Because why we are doing vikarma? Why it is vikarma? Tell me.
We are doing for
Our own sake, and then we are missing the bigger purpose of the human body. Human body has been given for a purpose, which is higher goals, realization. You wanted to say something, Sridhar?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that it says against this consciousness. So that means you are doing something that, like say you yourself a good devotee and then you're going for it. And if I try to sway you away from it, that is against. So that is vikarma is what I thought.
Yes,
Not that I'm not doing it is not vikarma. I'm not doing it is akarma is what I thought.
Okay, so let's read it. Okay, again. So the entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusion against this consciousness, any other conclusions
Against this.
against consciousness. This consciousness is referring to the relationship of Krishna, part and parcel.
Right,
so
right.
any other conclusion against this consciousness and its attendant actions means actions which is done in relationship with Krishna consciousness. If it is against it, then that what Prabhupada is calling it as vikarma or prohibited action. So it's much larger than what you are thinking, right?
Okay.
Means if we are not utilizing this body for the higher purpose, then we are misusing the gift. So this body, human body, is considered as a gift because of this many species of life. It's one species. Okay, it's a gift. Now I'm not using it properly. It's a bad thing, right? Now, if my manager gives me, Deepak, I'm giving you a project. Here's $1 million. Go make it happen. I'm taking the $1 million and say party. Okay, there is this party, that party. My manager is not going to be happy, right? Exactly the situation. Exactly the situation. Okay. So to understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn the secret from them. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. Otherwise, even the most intelligent persons will be bewildered. So that's the reason why you see Bhagavad Gita is there. Lot of people read it. There are a lot of version also. People have written their versions also, and people read it. But see how many people truly understand what is the message of Bhagavad Gita. And then those are the people who get confused that, oh, Veda says this Upanishad says this, Bhagavad Gita says this, I don't see any connection. And they say, this is just, bullshit. I don't believe in it. So they can come to conclusion. Other is they do it only for the piety's sake. They are just doing it because, this gives me the little peace. It's nice. I'm doing it. Other people are like that also. So it's like or third kind of people is puja for hire. I will do and I'll get something in return. puja for hire. So that's it. But when we read it as the way it has to be understood, and for that we have to go to the authority who have been following it, coming in parampara, who are following it, then we truly understand the meaning. That's the reason when Prabhupada wrote this particular version, not the version, did the translation, right? And then he wrote the purport. He's bringing the real meaning the way it has to be understood, because this is the way Arjuna understood. And after understanding what Arjuna did, he fought, even on the cost of losing all his family members. Other than the five brothers, he lost everybody else, right? All his sons, everybody was gone. So he followed what Krishna taught him. Okay, so we have to learn from somebody who is following it themselves. We cannot learn from somebody who is saying it, but they are not following it. Then there won't be any realization.
But Prabhu, situation in which Arjuna was is almost in every like one or two household. This type of situation.
Yes, Mataji, yes.
We cannot fight like Arjuna did.
We are not Kshatriyas.
So
We cannot do like this.
no, so here, so we have to understand the intent, Mataji, right? So the situation for Arjuna was that he has to physically fight. Okay, that was a situation. While for us, the fighting is within us. We have to deal with our anarthas, six kind of anarthas: lust, anger, greed, ignorance, pride, right? So we have to deal. So fighting is going there because you see the relationship. We said that every house, the problem is when we say problem, it's a relationship problem mainly, right? And
like our elders, like giving some property to someone or not
exactly,
doing justice in between two sons.
exactly. And then and there, if you think from the platform of the body, that both the sons should get equal. But let's say one son is very well doing. He's working at Amazon, like let's say your husband, and the other son is not doing so well. Now, one way is equal divide. Other is, let's say dad is thinking, dad should be thinking equal divide, but then the son who is working at Amazon can say, I don't need it. Lord has given me a lot. This my brother needs a lot. Let me give my share also, right? So there can be, right? So now, if you look from the Bhagavad Gita, we know that all this money, everything is coming by the accord of the Lord. I've been like, so your husband become lucky. There are many people who are working as hard, but they didn't got into Amazon. He got into Amazon, right? So when we start realizing that, then giving this money, it may be crores of rupees worth of property, you will easily give because you can see the bigger picture, and then there won't be fight. Now take the other situation. Let's equal property. Now the other one doesn't think why this guy is taking property. He is so rich and I'm struggling and whatever, right? So and that will lead to enmity. There's envy inside. Why God made him like that and why not me? Even though on the surface they are brothers, but inside that fire is there. And I'm telling you all this through my own experience also. These are all my own experiences. Okay, so once we understand this, the Bhagavad Gita, if you understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, you will fight like Arjuna. That what is the proper way to take the action? When I should do what thing? So we are not fighting with the sword, right? We are fighting with our mind. We are fighting with our mind and intelligence. Okay, next verse. Karmani akarma ye pashyad.
Karmani
Karmani pasya.
Akarmani cha karmaya.
karmani cha karmaya.
Sabuddhiman manusheshu.
Sabuddhiman
Sabuddhiman manushyashu.
Sayukta krishna karmakrit.
Sayukta kritasna karmakrit.
One who sees in action in. Now this is okay. This is the Upanishadic kind of a language. One who sees in action. Understand, okay? One who sees in action. I'll highlight it. In action, and action in inaction. So one who sees in action, and action in inaction is intelligent among men. Oh, what does it mean? And he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. So from what it is telling, What is your interpretation of this sentence? Anybody?
Not get too much attached to that action, even though you are performing. When you are not attached too much, then it is equal to you are not doing that at all.
Okay. Okay. So definitely that is inaction. Inaction. The first part, inaction, inaction. This part. Okay. This one. Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think the work that we do for Krishna consciousness, like going to temple, creating prasadam and all, that is actually that is an action, but who sees it as inaction? That is part one, and part two is someone action in inaction. Action. And if there's someone who has given up, say, worldly desires, but still in his mind he's thinking about the material things, even though he's not doing any action, but he's doing sakam karma. So I think that's the second one.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good try, Prabhuji. Wonderful. So, and then see what, and then what, although engaged in all sorts of activities, how would you interpret that? What does it mean? So he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities.
प्रभु की इच्छा से सारे काम.
Yeah, okay. He's in the
like if treating family Bhagavad bhavna karke, I'm like God has given me for my support. So all are like my family members. So all are like सब में भगवत भावना करके सब में अपने एक्शंस को करना कि मैं जो भी कर रहा हूँ वो भगवान के लिए कर रहा हूँ, भगवान का काम कर रहा हूँ.
Okay, so let me add further what Mata is telling. So Mata is telling that these person, the attitude is they are thinking that everything is done by Krishna, and I am just serving Krishna. I'm doing the work of Krishna. Okay, that's what Mata is telling. But the inner, I will just add further thing, which is the attitude really matters. So you see two people, let's say Sridhar and me. Okay, Sridhar is Krishna conscious person. Okay, and I'm not. Now Sridhar is also going to Boeing. I am going to Microsoft. He's taking care of his kids. I am also taking care of my kids. Now, outside, you will see that we both are the same, one and the same. They are both. Let's say somebody doesn't like Deepa, they'll think, oh, Sridhar is also like that because they are working. But now the intent, whatever Sridhar is doing, he's thinking about Krishna. When he's taking care of his kids, he's thinking about Krishna, right? So he's eating, but he's not eating outside because he's so that I shouldn't be eating. So you see, from outside, so even though I'm doing all sorts of activities, but he's living a transcendental life while I'm not. So this is how we can understand further. Okay, so you're right, but the intention, what the meaning here is, intention really matters, and from outside nobody can see the intention. Nobody can see the intention from outside. Okay, so let's read Prabhupada's purport. So Prabhupada ki jai. A person acting in Krishna consciousness is naturally free from the bonds of karma. So the person who is acting Krishna consciousness is naturally free from the bonds of karma. His activities are all performed for Krishna. Therefore, he does not enjoy or suffer any of the effects of work. Now, this is the example of inaction in inaction. This is the example of the first part. When I'm saying that I'm doing all sort of work, so I'm driving the car, right? I'm good. Working. I'm taking care of my family, but still, because it is all being done in relationship with the Krishna with that attitude, and Paramatma knows. Paramatma is the only one who can decide, right? Not my neighbor or not anybody else. Paramatma knows whether I'm lying or I am just faking. Then in that case, if I'm not faking, then my activities is considered to be Krishna consciousness, and there is no karmic balance. You understand? There is no karmic balance. Mataji, Nupur Mataji, okay. So like in this case, a mother is taking care of the kid, thinking of the of Krishna, taking care of the husband, thinking of Krishna, right? She's serving husband, right? People may think, oh, that's lust. She's serving, but then because she has been given a duty of a wife, and wife is serving her husband so that her husband feels satisfied, right? So cooking the good food, whatever husband is on, and the similarly vice versa. So that's the reason why it is said that if we do our duty, the duty which has been given as in the body of men or a woman, two different body. Men cannot have kids, women can have kids, right? So if the women this is duty and she is doing the duty in relationship with the Krishna, that path itself will lead to Krishna consciousness. That path itself. Similarly, husband not saying that, oh, I'll be going to a temple, but ignoring the wife completely is not good. So husband has to balance, of course. So he has to balance in such a way that slowly wife also becomes Krishna conscious. At least she's not going away from Krishna. That's the step number one. Make sure her distance where she is and where Krishna is, that doesn't grow. So we have to intelligently act in that way. And slowly when wife learns, let's say she's not, so this is for the wife who's not very Krishna conscious, she has a lot of material desire. Right? We all have material desire, some have more, some have less. Okay. So she has a lot of material desire. So just make sure that she's not she's not feeling the burnt, otherwise she will go away. Right? So just study, do all the seva, make sure her needs are met. And for that, we become more efficient. We just become more efficient, make sure that we are taking care of her. Right? And then I'm working towards Krishna consciousness. Then as she sees that, oh, my husband, her nature has changed, his behavior has changed, he's become more polite, he doesn't get angry at me. Now she knows there must be something great. Let me follow. Then slowly she will start coming towards Krishna. Okay? So there are different cases. So, but understand the intent that first we have to understand that our focus is Krishna. Yet at the same time, we should make sure initially in the initial stage that our bodily duties are also not ignored. Otherwise, that will create a lot of chaos in the life. Understand? That is very important. Then, as you start making progress, and as your family start making progress, then this duty, the mundane duty of the family life, and I'm calling it now mundane duty. Many times we spend a lot of time going for a walk or very nice weather. A lot of people will go, right? It's okay. Sometimes kids need it. You have to take them out. But like let's say if I'm doing, oh, every day I have to take a walk, then you start realizing that maybe that time I can listen. Maybe that time I can chant. If I have, or slowly that will start, I think I have walked enough. Let me focus on Krishna. What service can I do? So now you see how the things are changing. Before that was very important. Now we are shifting. Am I making sense? Okay, all right. Akarma means without reaction to work. Karma means without reaction to work. Those who are engaged in this process are known to be without desire for personal sense gratification. So in this case, see, this is very important. That's the reason I highlighted. So the people who are working the way I was giving an example, those who are engaged in this process, so they are working, but their intention and attitude is all Krishna consciousness. In that case, even though they are working without desire for the personal sense gratification. In that case, they are doing a karma. So this is called inaction in action. Okay. And the second is the sense of eternal servitorship to Krishna makes one immune to all sorts of reactionary elements of work. So if I'm working like that, so I'm doing all my duty, thinking of Krishna, how I can serve Krishna, how I can serve my relationship with Krishna. In that case, Krishna makes sure that I'm not getting any reactionary work due to any physical action I am doing. Because I am walking, I kill so many insects, I'm talking, small microorganism is going in my mouth, I'm killing them. But because I'm speaking about Krishna, I'm talking about Krishna, I won't get any sin due to that. Otherwise, anybody who is born in this earth planet, all the time they are getting some karma. Living on this earth means karma, for sure. But when we do it everything for the service of Krishna, you're driving the car, so many insects get killed. Now you're driving for Krishna, then we don't get the karma for that. All right.
But Prabhu, like sometimes we have some insects at home, so we have to kill them, so that they don't harm us or harm my kids.
Higher principle, higher principle. See now, initially you might be killing, but then later you will see that if those insects can be safely, if the snake come, right, you may not be able to hold it, right? But if you see the spider, now you see that now we keep those cups and then we try to hold it in the cup, we take it and throw it outside, right? So slowly you learn if the insect is something which you can catch and that can be caught in a safe manner, then you catch and throw. You won't kill. So you'll see the changes, right? So, but sometimes to save the tulsi ji, right? There are a lot of spiders. I have to put the spray, and they are killing the spiders, right? So the higher principle. You have to apply higher principle, and then if we have to see that, oh, this is in relationship with the Krishna or because I'm just scared, right? So even my kids, like my daughter is scared of spiders. So now, but she will come out of the room, but she'll say that this is a spider. So now she will go and put the cup and say that, okay, I want you go and remove it. I'm not going to remove it. So we become more intelligent. Okay, so that's the kids will also learn it. All right, next verse. Yasha यस्य सर्वे समारंभा कामा संकल्पवर्जितः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धः कर्माणम् तमाहु पंडित बुद्धा. One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. So highlight this, okay? So when we are doing the work, so we are doing the action, but see what is our attitude? This is our attitude. That I don't want to enjoy for myself. Okay? He is said by sages to be a worker for whom the reaction of work have been burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. So in this case, even though I am working, sages are telling that for those kind of a people who are working without the desire for sense gratification, sages are telling that their reaction has been burned by the knowledge of by the perfect knowledge. What is the perfect knowledge in this case? Yes, that I am part and parcel of Krishna. Whatever the work I am doing, I have to do for Krishna. Even if I'm taking care of my son, my daughter, my wife, my kids, whatever, my work, but I'm thinking how it is in relationship with the Krishna and I'm figuring it out, then I won't get, that is the perfect knowledge. In that case, sages are telling that you are not going to get any reaction. Right? Makes sense? So this is akarma. Krishna is basically explaining akarma. नुपुर माता जी समझ में आ रहा है कि मैं हिंदी में कुछ बताऊं?
नहीं
ठीक है? ओके ओके बिल्कुल मतलब कुछ भी है ना मतलब you can ask. Okay? Because the person in Krishna consciousness is devoid of all kinds of sense gratificatory propensities, it is to be understood that he has burned up the reaction of his work by perfect knowledge of his constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, let me give an example. You see, Krishna Bhaktas, they eat a lot. Because there's a lot of prasad all the time. There's always some festival going on, right? And then Krishna Bhakta, especially the young, like me, eat a lot, right? Somebody says, this person eats a lot, man. Other person is going to restaurant, what's wrong, right? But in this case, when the devotee, the right attitude for the devotee, and this is also we have to learn, right? So I can eat as much I want, but the attitude before we eat, we always sing the prayers. Thank you, Lord, you have given me this prasad. Thank you so much. And I'm not able to control my tongue, so I'm going to eat this prasad and able to control. That should always be attitude. So before eating any time prasad, always fold your hand, think with that attitude. There's a prasad prayers also. You can by heart that and you can sing. Or even not, attitude is okay. Attitude is and with that mood, then we eat. Eat it slowly. Our eating propensity will also go down. But initially, eat as much as you like. Don't need to like as long as prasad, eat to the full content, right? And that's thinking that how Lord is so great that He's giving me this prasad for me to eat, right? And then This is not sense gratification in that case, okay? Otherwise, it becomes a sense gratification. So this is for eating. Similarly, for you can take any example in your life, anything, and if you have a doubt, you can talk to me. We can discuss. Okay, even the relationship between husband and wife, right? So there also means it can be spiritualized if it is not done just for your sense gratification, right? If you're thinking that, oh, there is a need of the body and the partner needs it, then it is okay, right? But then if somebody is just doing too much all the time, that is their life, then it becomes a sense. So there is a fine line. Okay, there is a fine line. So understand your duty. So why I'm bringing this adult topic, because sometimes people understand in a way, and then even I've seen some newly married people, they don't sleep together because they think, oh, that's sin,
That's a sin.
right? Means they will only sleep together when I need to produce the kid, but then either the husband or wife is suffering because one person wants it, the other person is becoming too ideal, and what will happen in that case? After a few years, they will separate out because there was a need which was not met. Right? So understand. So Krishna consciousness is very practical. Okay, that's the point you should understand. It's very practical. Don't become very theoretical. Okay, and then leave husband or wife and just become totally Krishna or nobody else. Right? Yes, we have to keep making progress, but let's take it do it together. Okay. Okay. Development of this knowledge of eternal servitorship to the Lord is compared to fire. Such a fire, once kindled, can burn up all kinds of reaction to work. Okay, so it can burn up all kinds of reaction to work. So this is all this what Krishna is talking about. Inaction, in action. Inaction in action is being explained. Okay. Next verse. Taktva karma phala sangam.
Tattva karma phala sangam.
Nitya trapto nirashraya.
Nitya tripto nirashrayah
Karmani abhipravartopi.
karmanya pravrittopi
Naiva kinchit karoti sa.
naiva kinchit karoti sah.
Abandoning all attachments to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertaking. So, what Krishna is telling that? Who? He's talking about who? Which person? The person who is living the life of a karma. He's talking about them. That abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, and his is both men and women, okay? His activities ever, because and why I say that in the language in the ancient time, both ladies and men, they can be referred as Prabhu. Prabhu means anybody who has spiritually grown and who has started understanding relationship with Krishna and themselves. So even you see some of our Maharaj, whenever Swami, even sometimes Harivilas Maharaj, when he's talking to some of the Matajis, he will refer them as Prabhu. Okay, so just understand these are terminology. Other we shouldn't get, oh, this is like all for men, not for women. No, it is for the people who is intelligent, who has understood the path. Okay, they are being referred as Prabhus and him, abandoning all attachment to the result of his activities, ever satisfied and independent. So these people are ever satisfied. Even Krishna gives me little, I am satisfied. Krishna gives me large, I am satisfied because I am not doing sense gratification. And independent. Independent doesn't mean that they are doing whatever I will do whimsically, right? Independent means using the intelligence in the right way. It's not that the whole world is following something, I am following the same thing. He performs no fruitive actions, although engaged in all kinds of undertaking. So they are basically working. Of course, it's Nishkam Karmi Yoga, but it's further step than the Nishkama Karmi Yoga, which is called Yukta Vairagya, which means they are doing anything they are doing in relationship with Krishna. Driving their car, relationship with Krishna. Taking care of wife, in relationship with Krishna. Working at Boeing, in relationship with Krishna. How can you work, Prabhu, at Boeing in relationship with Krishna?
I mean, I think the work has been provided by Krishna, so I keep doing my work as if it's
Okay, further. But
okay.
then you say that, okay, I'll work 8 hours or 20 hours or whatever, right? What is required? How can you think that it is Krishna work? What is the practical understanding? How would you think that is really a Krishna work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I want you all to think deeper, right? So we are learning philosophy, but I really want you to when I say practical, make it practical, okay? So anybody would like to give the answer? What are the question I asked, either online or over here?
Boeing
Yes.
means airplane.
Yeah, Prabhu works at
Any
Boeing.
company, yeah.
Prabhu works at Boeing. So I'm giving the example of Prabhu. Yes, Pragya Mataji, boliye.
So job which I have, so that I can make the money and give like do my duty for my family because they require certain things they expect from certain things. So I fulfill them and I fulfill them so I will also get time to focus on Krishna. Whatever time I have, I am channelizing and worshiping him. But there are duties which he has given me that I have to take on. So I just remember him all the time and do the things what I have to do.
Very good. Online, how much you could hear Pragya Mataji?
We can hear good, Prabhuji.
You are able to hear, very good. So now let me add little bit, okay? So one is whenever I'm working at Boeing or Microsoft. So first, to answer Sridhar Prabhu, that I was doing the one-on-one with him, right over here. So now Sridhar Prabhu has to think, try to remember, like even though it's like you do project management, right? Think about Krishna, right? Okay, Krishna, I should make the right decision. I shouldn't trample on people's head. It should be the right. So in that case, let's say somebody is not very amicable to you. So sometimes if you are a project manager, other projects are coming, right? How then you don't see you versus me? You think that, okay, this person is acting, he must be thinking like this. How can I come and present that, hey, my dear friend, this is not my attitude. This is the situation. So you go a step further, explain your attitude, where you are coming from. And then even though that person is misbehaving, you think that this is not the right thing, you forgive him. And then you try to still get the work done in a way where that person doesn't get penalized. You don't make him the enemy. Don't put him under the bus as much as possible. Okay, it's just okay. That person is not able to work. We'll just work with Shiva Prabhu, whatever, right? So that's one attitude, and then you work it efficiently so that you can come and focus on Krishna. So everybody is expected to do 8 hours, but who has told you that you have to work 8 hours? If you are doing the impact by working 4 hours, it's totally fine. Why do they care? We are not hourly worker, right? We are not hourly worker. So we are just giving the result. And even if I'm doing it 4 hour, 2 hour, do it smartly, and then and then come read more, hear more, right? So that is the other thing, right? So Mataji explained that also. Now one other aspect: the money is coming. Why it is coming? Krishna is allowing me to gain that money. We're working in all high-paying jobs, right? Not we are not working at Walmart as a cashier or anything like that, right? High-paying jobs. Now that if we take all the money and keep it in my bank, that's not good, right? Because why do I need all that money? If I have already got the house, I have already got the car, my food needs are met. My children need little bit entertainment. I have made some arrangement also. I'll once a year I'll go outside. I'll take them out, and then slowly we can start making it like rather than going to Disney, maybe I'll go to Vrindavan also, and then kids slowly develop the interest. They will develop the interest, right? The way we treat them. Now, then I have got some for 401k also. Okay, but what about the other money? Do I need that money? Why do I need to keep million and then think, oh, this million I'm going to give it to my son or daughter, and they're going to fight anyway. That's the reality. See, nobody is happy when you give them. They think why that person is getting that much of money, right? So, charity. In charity, make the plan that okay, in the future I'm going to get so much of money. How I want to make sure that this money get utilized properly in the Krishna service. That's very important. So start with donating 1%. Initially, it's hard. For some people, it will open up very fast. For some people, it will be slow. I started with giving $100. It was a big thing in 2004, 2005. First time I gave $100, big deal. And of course, that time I was single earner also, but big deal. But then when I in 2007, I 2007, 2008, I give $10,000, but in the increment of 2000, 2000, 2000, like buying a tile and giving to a temple, very big thing. And when I saw my name, they used to put the encourage. I felt, oh, that's good. I paid $10,000 in the span of 1 year or 2 year, whatever it was number, and that slowly opened me up. And slowly, now I feel means I now utilize everything what the Microsoft gives, $15,000. It goes in the first 2 months. So you will see that you will get to a stage where you will feel still. I think I have to donate a lot more. I'm not there yet, but I have come a long way in that journey. And I'm whenever I think I plan right, and I'm saying publicly so that if sometimes some cheating propensity comes in my mind, I shouldn't do that, right? That I'm not going to hoard money. Like, okay, whatever little money I need to give to my son, daughter, leave little bit so they feel that I've got. But every money needs to go back to Krishna for his service in my lifetime. So that is the attitude I'm carrying. Okay? So we all need to plan in such a way that we are able to do that so that we are not attached to the money. Otherwise, we'll be attached to the money, we'll be attached to the promotion, we'll attach to the so much of a bonuses, right? My wife doesn't know what her salary is, how much like. So you slowly will get to that state where you won't care. You will feel that everything is from Krishna. Let's use it properly, and you will enjoy giving donations. There is a lot of pleasure. You will see a lot of pleasure. All right. Okay. So this freedom from the somebody will read this purport online.
This freedom from the bondage of actions is possible only in Krishna consciousness when one is doing everything for Krishna. A Krishna consciousness person acts out of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he has no attraction for the results of the action.
Just
It's
one
not
more.
even a.
Just one. So see the highlight is pure love. So whatever we are doing, acts of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that intention is very, very important. Okay, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Is not even attached to his personal maintenance, for everything is left to Krishna.
Oh, now hold
Nor
on.
is
Now hold on again. So see, he's not even attached to his personal maintenance. Means that I'm not putting all the time. I'm thinking I'm going to the beauty parlor. I'm going to the gym all the time. Whatever necessary is, I have to keep the body healthy. But how much should I spend time on that? So that is personal maintenance. That's what it means. But whatever is, it doesn't mean that you should not take care of your body at all. Body has been given to you by Krishna. Manage it so that it can continue serving Krishna. Okay, go ahead, Prabhuji.
nor is he anxious to secure things, nor to protect things already in his possession. He does his duty to the best of his ability and leaves everything to Krishna. Such an unattached person is always free from the resultant reactions of good and bad. It is as though he were not doing anything. This is the sign of akarma, or actions without creative reactions. Any other action, therefore, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is binding upon the worker. That is the real aspect of vikarma, as explained herein before.
A very practical purport. So whenever in doubt, come back and read this purport. Okay, that will give you the answer. And every time you read, it will give you some realization also. In your situation, let's say you're dealing with something, it will give you realization. So for this class, while I'm reading, highlighting, I get a lot of realization. Right? So it's the lifetime you'll keep reading it. So say I've highlighted this. This is very important, right? So this is like a practical Krishna consciousness explained in very simple terms by Prabhupada. Okay? Just go reread it. Read it with your spouse. Next verse. Nirasiryata chitatma
Nirashiryata chittatma
tyakta sarva parigraha
tyakta sarva parigraha
shariram kevalyam karma
shariram kevalam karma
kurvan napnoti kil bisham.
kurvan apnoti kil visham.
Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled. So the previous verse So the person who is doing they are doing everything in relationship with Krishna. How they are able to do it? They have the full control on the mind and intelligence. That's the reason they are able to do it. Because if I'm not controlling, then money part, I'll become greedy. Because I'm controlling my mind and intelligence. So I'm doing it in the right way. Right? Gives, okay, such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possession, and acts only for the bare necessity of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. See, now let's say you have your son and daughter and you have a wife. So I'm thinking I'm a man, I'm looking into my wife, my family. Now, for all practical purpose, I'm very happy my son is working for Krishna. This is what he was thinking all the time. So let's say there's some work which he has to do for me. And even he doesn't do it, I ignore it because he's focusing on Krishna. Similarly, my wife, like she has to do service and all those. Let's say in doing that, sometimes he's not able to pay attention on me, right? I'm very happy. At least she is doing work for Krishna, right? So in this case, as the things are happening, your family is growing. You will see that you will learn in the process that I was expecting something, probably that is not required. Let me go and deal with it. Maybe I have that is my sense gratification. I have to control that, right? So you will learn. So if you give so you have to give a relationship to also Krishna. You have to give a relationship to also Krishna. So and this is the part that it takes time. Initially, if you give up too quickly without having the good attitude, right attitude, and the right maturity, then these things will go wrong. These things will go wrong. Okay. And then bare necessity of life. So bare necessity is, if I can live in 2-bedroom house, then why do I need to have 4-bedroom house, right? So now when we moved here, initially we were using this house for party and all those stuff, but then we realized that, maybe we should go in a smaller house. It's not required. Then we understood, if we can utilize this house for Krishna service, then this house becomes property of Krishna. Right? So that's how we are utilizing it. It's Krishna, this is Krishna. So everywhere Krishna, see everywhere is all Krishna. We have given very small place for our family. There are those pictures there, and there are some pictures in the bedroom. Everywhere is Krishna's pictures. So we can look and you'll see Krishna will come and inspire you. It's not that we have to make like today, I've learned something. Let me take out all the family pictures. It's all going to be Krishna. Family may not be very happy with that. Okay. Give it time. Slowly, what will happen? Krishna will have a good desire. And slowly you say one picture at a time, one picture at a time, right? And then slowly the house will become completely Krishna's house. Krishna will have a central place. He will occupy. He is the master of the house, and we are all serving Krishna. In that case, it doesn't matter how big the house is. The house belongs to Krishna. You're not using for your satisfaction. Understand? So bare necessity of life. And then as the life progresses, let's say my kids go out, and then I have to think. And then maybe I'm traveling a lot. I'm going to Vrindavan, Mayapur, I'm traveling. Then maybe I have to think that maybe I don't need such a big house. Let me downsize. And why downsizing important? Because if I'm paying too much on taxes, why? Means if I can save that and give to Krishna, that might be more useful. So think that way. It's not, means there should be purpose, right? It's not I go to the small house, but I have a lot of desire. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay. Shruti Mataji, would you like to read the purport, the highlighted ones?
A Krishna conscious person does not expect good or bad results in his activities. His mind and intelligence are fully controlled. He knows that because he is part and parcel of the Supreme, the part played by him as a part and parcel of the whole is not his own activity but is only being done through him by the Supreme.
Take a pause,
When the
Mataji.
hand
Just so see, this is I would like each of us to reflect on this part. Just read this sentence in again silently. He knows from there. He knows that because. Just read it again. So the other way to understand this sentence is that we are all instrument of Krishna. We are just an instrument of Krishna. So let's say I'm teaching, I've been given a role of a teacher here by Krishna's grace, right? I'm thinking that, due to me, Sridhar is becoming a devotee. That's one attitude. Other is, the right attitude is, I'm just a very, 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 very minuscule instrument in this service to Krishna. Krishna has given me this position in a way where I'm just acting 0.0001% in progression of Sridhar. That is the right attitude. Or thinking I am 0%. That is even the better attitude. I have no role to play. I'm just I'm just an instrument. And Krishna has given a position. I feel so obliged. I feel so grateful to Krishna. And then they are all becoming such a wonderful devotee. We have to, that attitude, this being attitude, that this isn't, I'm just an instrument. Part and parcel is good. But whatever the part I'm playing as an instrument of Krishna. Okay? Yes, go ahead, Mataji, please.
When the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by the endeavor of the whole body. A Krishna conscious person is always dovetailed with supreme desire, for he has no desire for personal sense of gratification. He moves exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, so a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors.
See
Like
here,
an
that's just Mataji, that's it, just the highlighted ones. So see now here, very practical as we are talking about. So just like this body is a machine, right? So we have to properly oil, we should oil it. We shouldn't leave it without the oil. If my all the time my knees are paining, my hand is paining, I'm getting the headache all the time because I'm not drinking water, I'm not taking care of it, then I won't be able to do service. So I have to do oiling, whatever is required. But that's it, right? And then thinking always dovetail with the supreme desire. So we have to learn how to dovetail with the supreme desire, what Krishna wants. Anything I am doing, we have to always ask what Krishna wants. So sometimes Krishna will inspire. In the initial beginning phases, we just follow whatever Guru is telling. So in our case, we follow what the temple authorities telling. Okay, they're telling, okay, we are going to run the events. We are going to take care of so many devotees are coming. You do this service. We just follow. That is because that's the Krishna's desire coming through the authority. Initial stage. Next stage, let's say you get initiated, take a diksha, you have your own guru also. Then you understand their mood also, right? All the authorized guru, their desire will be exactly what Krishna wants. Okay, so they become the via media through which we can see what Krishna desire is. And as you further advance, Krishna as a Paramatma will start inspiring you a lot also. But that is why higher. Why that is higher? Why not now? Because right now also sometimes we think that Krishna is telling me this. Should I hear that sound or not? Yes, sometimes it may be the sound of Maya. We are not able to distinguish where Maya is telling or Krishna is telling. Krishna is telling, it's okay. You go to Disney, this time it's okay. Or you go to Vegas, one time you go and then you come and practice Krishna conscious. Oh, Krishna is telling me. This Maya style, right? So in that case, we always rely on Guru and our mentors, which say, okay, it is the right thing or not? So initially, that's the reason why we say that, okay? But then when somebody advances, then they are able to parse out that this is not Maya, this is Krishna. And you are able to relate, like, okay, here I got the voice from my heart, and then there I see the need, and this voice has come before also. Now you can see that, and this is what my guru once has told me that you should be doing it. Oh, maybe I should be doing that. Then you are able to understand.
And you earlier also said that in a initial time, like Maya Devi taking our exams, small exams every time.
Yes. So, and once we become the devotee Mataji, any exam we see in our life, if we are not deviating, if we are doing it with all sincerity. And when I say sincerity, our practice may be imperfect. Focus what I am saying. My intent is perfect, but my action may be imperfect. I've been told this is how I should do, but I'm not skilled at it. Understand? So it's a good thing. Okay. So I just suddenly lost my train of thought. What I was trying to say. Um,
Intent and action.
Intent and action, right? Yeah, if I had something in my wanted to
For
say.
maintaining body, we have to do
Yeah,
the required things, but our focus should be serving Krishna.
Yeah, serving Krishna. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, okay. Okay, so next verse. Yadracha labha santushto dvandvatito vimatshraha sama siddhava asiddhau cha kratvapi na nibaddate. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions. So these are all the different symptoms are being described. So before this verse, is Krishna said that the person who is doing the properly where he's on the path of karma, they have the full control in mind and intelligence. Now Krishna is further telling that these kind of people who are doing a karma, what is they are who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord. So they understand anything. You get the promotion, you get the money, you get a very good life. It is coming of its own accord. It's not that, oh, I am the like a thief marka, like I am the one who is making this happen, right? Just you know that this is coming through the Krishna's accord. Of course, I have to do my part. Who is free from duality and does not envy. So these kind of a person, they are typically free from duality. So they didn't get confused. Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Why they don't get confused? Because it is only one thing. They are doing everything for Krishna. So there is no duality. I will do this work for Krishna. This project has to be done for Krishna. Whatever comes in the way, I'll deal with it. It's for Krishna. I'll deal with it. I'll find a right way to do it. Okay? And they does not envy. So even they does not envy that, somebody else is doing the work, so they are doing better. They don't envy. Like they will encourage that person. Well, let that person is doing better. Let me help that person. It's more collaboration. Okay, they does not envy. Who is steady in both success and failure? So they are steady. So let's say I'm doing this project is given by Krishna for Krishna. Whether let's say somebody is given a task by his guru to go and build a temple. Now they are trying very hard. They are not getting the funds. They are getting failure after failure. Some paperwork is getting stuck, but they don't get bewildered. There is little frustration, but they think this is Krishna's grace. This is Krishna grace. It's not that, oh, what kind of luck I have got, and this, see what kind of project they have given me. Like they have just set up me for failure, right? They have knowingly they gave it. So there's again one attitude. Other attitude, even if I'm not succeeding, that's Krishna grace. I'll keep trying. And then you'll see the beautiful things. And they are never entangled, although performing all kind of actions, right? So they are never entangled into the karmic reaction. Okay, so Banu Prabhu, would you like to read this purport?
Sure.
Yes, Prabhuji.
A Krishna conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are obtained of their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows, but he labors honestly as far as it is his power, and is satisfied with whatever is obtained by his own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. However, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of actions without being disturbed by his duality of the material world. The duality of the material world is felt in terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness. A Krishna conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, he is steady both in success and in failure. These signs are visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge.
Thank you, Prabhu. So now see some of the points, key points. So we learn to live whatever Krishna has given us, right? We shouldn't feel, oh, Krishna hasn't given me so much, I should give me more. We are content, right? But we labor hard. We labor honestly. We labor honestly, but he labors honestly as far as is in his power. It's not that we become lazy. Krishna consciousness is not laziness. In fact, Krishna conscious person works quite hard. They work very efficiently at work. Then that they come then at home, they make sure all their duty is taken care of very efficiently again. They plan everything and do it everything nicely. Then it's okay. Now I have a good chunk of time. Now how can I serve Krishna? I'll go and volunteer here. I'll go and run this project. I'll do this. I'll do that. So Krishna conscious person is always very busy. Okay, so we are Krishna conscious person is not lazy. Okay, that's the okay. And he does not allow anyone's service to hamper. So again, we have to be polite, respectful. But if the service has been given, we as a Krishna servant, we want to make sure that service is done in the right way, without burning bridges, without harming anybody, right? So that's the intelligence we have to think. But we should do the project. It's not that if there is a lot of politics. Politics will happen in temple also, by the way. It will happen. Why it will happen? Because temple is in where the temple is. Is the Vaikuntha right now in the material world? Material world. So material energy will act. And many times Krishna will create the situation where through one example, he can teach many of the people. So that may seem like a politics and all those stuff. We have to learn to deal with it. For the service, what has been assigned to us. We don't criticize people unnecessarily, right? We just do our service in a way without harming people. Okay, so these are the things you will learn, right? Because initially people get bewildered. Oh, in temple also is a lot of politics. Then what is it? Well, because in temple we think that it should not be politics. So one reason is that it can be Krishna plan. Other is lot of people who are in the temple, they're not mature enough. They are practicing, but their practice is very imperfect. Might be having sense gratification. So in some cases, Maya might be acting. Some cases, Krishna might be acting. Right. So it becomes very hard to see. It's just like having a virus. Let's say Microsoft system. They are giving the security product, but they also got infected, right? Because one place somebody did something, one place got corrupted. It will corrupt the whole thing. The temple is just like that, right? One person will do the virus will attack that person, Maya will attack that person, and that will corrupt. It will seem that it's corrupting the whole thing. Okay. So we should make sure that whatever service has been given, we do it. At the same time, we cooperate with the other people's service. Okay, so these are some of the key points. And then, of course, they don't get bothered by duality because they're working for Krishna and they're steady both in success and failure. Okay. Okay, next verse. Gata sangasya muktasya ज्ञानावशिष्टत चेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्मया समग्रं प्रविलीयते. Sorry, I think the two English line got cut off. So if you're looking for the English, it's in the Bhagavad Gita. It just when I put it in the OneNote, it seems it just somehow it got cut off. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. So the work of a man who is unattached. So now further characteristic, the man who is unattached to the modes of material nature, because the person who is doing the work of akarma, they are not attached to the modes of nature. The modes of nature are not bothering it. And who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge, merges entirely into transcendence. Because so what is telling, in their purpose, they become one with the transcendence. It's not the merge that my soul will go and merge with the Krishna soul and will become one. Don't think like that. Otherwise, then the chapter 2 will become wrong. Chapter 2 is telling that we are all individuals. Then that will become wrong, right? So we need to understand in a right context. So right context is, in purpose we become one. So whatever Krishna wants, that's exactly what the pure devotee of the Lord will be doing. Okay. Okay. Next verse. Brahma Arpanam Brahma Havir.
Brahma
Brahma Agnu Brahmana Hutam.
Agni Brahmana Hudam
Brahmovet Tena Gantavya.
Brahmavetena Gandhavam
Brahma Karma Samadhina.
Brahma Karma Samadhina.
All Brahma, right? So 2, 4, 5, 6, 6 times Brahma word is used. So you see, now you'll see from the Sanskrit, if you take the word by word synonym, see, let's read the synonym here, okay? So Brahma here means spiritual in nature, Arpanam, contribution. Then next Brahma is the supreme. So see, first Brahma is spiritual in nature, next Brahma is the supreme. Havihi, butter. When Brahma here again is spiritual. Agno, in the fire of consummation. Brahmana, by the spirit soul. So Brahmana, by the spirit soul. Ana, right? By the spirit soul. Hutam, offered. Brahma, spiritual. Now the Brahma is appearing his spiritual kingdom. Eva, certainly. Tena, by him. Gantavyam, to be reached. Brahma, spiritual. Karma, in activities. Samadhina, by complete absorption. So Sanskrit is very contextual. Okay, so Atma word can be used for body, it can be used for mind, it can be used for soul. Okay, so it's very contextual. So a person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. Again, repeating, a person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So it is the quality of the person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. They are sure to attain the spiritual kingdom. So they are not going to take the birth again. After this life, they will go to the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities. Because all the time, whatever they are doing, they are only doing for the spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute. So the consummation, because whatever I am doing, it is absolute, and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. So whatever is being offered, that is of the same spiritual nature. So what is the purport here? How activities in Krishna consciousness can lead one ultimately to the spiritual goal is described here. A conditioned soul entangled in material contamination is sure to act in the material atmosphere. This is for the conditioned soul. And yet he has to get out of such an environment. So see, I am a conditioned soul, I am entangled. And so, but I have to get out of this environment. How can I do that? So see, the process by which the conditioned soul can get out of the material atmosphere is Krishna consciousness. So if I'm in a contaminated environment, I have to come out of it. What is the process? Krishna consciousness. Okay, further explain. For example, a patient who is suffering from a disorder of the bowels due to overindulgence in milk product is cured by another milk product, namely curd. The materially absorbed conditioned soul can be cured by Krishna consciousness as set forth here in Gita. So the materially absorbed conditioned soul can be cured by Krishna consciousness as set forth here in Gita. This process is generally known as yagya or activities, simply meant for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Krishna. So whatever, see, what is yagya? A sacrifice. It is whatever we are doing for the satisfaction of our Krishna. So we are not thinking of our satisfaction. We are thinking of the satisfaction of Krishna. That becomes yajna or sacrifice. So even this, our marriage, the grahastha, it is the yajna. Grahastha is yajna. It's not for the satisfaction. Otherwise, it's called graha medhi. The people are enjoying their grahastha life. They are called graha medhi. They are enjoyer of grahastha life. They are wasting their life. While the people who are doing the grahastha life properly, they are in ashram, grahast ashram. And that is yajna. We are putting our desire, propensity into the fire of grahasti. Okay? That's the reason sometimes there is pain, there is burning in the family life. It's burning, right? Burning of relationship, you're not feeling good, somebody get angry at you. That is for our own purification. Okay? So okay, this is Agya. And this is done with satisfaction of Vishnu Krishna. The more the activities of material worlds are performed in Krishna consciousness or for Vishnu only, the more the atmosphere becomes spiritualized by complete absorption. So the more we do it, slowly, I was talking about the situation of my house, right? Slowly, how it became more spiritualized, more spiritualized. Initially, it was a material life. Slowly, it became more spiritualized because just we follow the process. Okay. But when the jyoti is covered by illusion or sense gratification, it is called material. So now this is everything in this world. If you look from Krishna consciousness, it has a utility and it is spiritualized. If you are looking from the eyes of Krishna, in relationship with Krishna, the same thing when we don't look from the eye of Krishna or not in relationship with Krishna, become material. Now, wife for me can be a thing of enjoyment for my lusty desire. What it is material or spiritual?
Material.
Material. The same wife can become a co-partner for me to serve Krishna. So everything, just think. So the example is when the jyoti, the light, is covered by illusion or sense gratification, it is called material. This material veil can be removed at once by Krishna consciousness. So when we put in relationship with Krishna, the material thing will become Krishna consciousness. Okay? The absolute truth covered by Maya is called matter. Now, so simple, like you'll just marvel what Prabhupada has given us. The absolute truth covered by Maya is called matter. So what is matter? This whole material world is absolute. It is created perfectly for its intended purpose. And what is the intended purpose?
To make us realize the relationship.
To send us back to Godhead. Krishna wants all of us back. For that purpose, he created this material world. Now, we can call it Maya because we are thinking in terms of what is in it for me, why I am suffering, why I am getting disease. There is Maya. Now, if I am getting disease so that I can look for Krishna. I lost my father, I lost my mother because he wants us to think that there is somebody who's waiting for us. I am feeling the pain of losing my father and mother. Think what Krishna might be feeling the pain. Think, right? So that becomes spiritual. So this is Prabhupada wonder, right? So it's covered by, so the absolute truth covered by Maya is called matter. Matter dovetail for the cause of the absolute truth, regains his spiritual consciousness. The contributor, the contribution, the consumption, the performer, or the leader of the performance, the result of ultimate gain, everything becomes one in absolute, the supreme Brahman. That is the method of Krishna consciousness. So go and reread this purport, this amazing purport, Okay, and this is the last verse. We'll just quickly finish it for today so that we finish this section. Devam ava devamevapare yagyam yoginam paryupashate brahmagnavya yagnam yagne vojapu juhyati. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigod by offering different sacrifice to them, and some offer sacrifice in the fire of Supreme Brahman. So some yogis perfectly worship the demigods. So now it will be transitioning in the next section to the demigod. So it's a transition verse. So some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them. And some offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. So some are worshipping demigods, some are worshipping Supreme Lord, right? So we will stop here. Okay. We will in the next section. There will be the worship of the demigod, all different. So next section is all about the different sacrifices. Okay. So that time we will go and elaborate further. Any question? Any thoughts? Gaurav Prabhu, Hema Mataji. Okay, Mataji. I know that you have some bad cough and cold. Gaurav Prabhuji, any question?
No question, Prabhuji. I have some questions, but a lot of things are going in my mind right now.
Okay, Prabhu. So hold on, means write down your question or note it down so that we can discuss. Before I end the class, a few announcements. So on 17th, something special is happening. Kartik Maas is starting. So Kartik Maas is very important Maas. It is like what it says that it is like a sale time. So when you want to buy the stuff like Black Friday, Thanksgiving sale, right? Everything is cheap. So this is the time when the Krishna's mercy is abundance. He is always merciful, but it is a lot more abundance. Lot more abundance. So lot of devotees they visit Vrindavan, Mayapur. They are visiting the places. They are doing lot more austerity. They are reading more. They are listening more. So this is the 1 month, 17th of October to 15th of November. To increase your sadhana. Increase your sadhana. Make a vow. You can just make a vow, whatever. Let's say if somebody is chanting 4 rounds, say that for this month I'm going to be chanting 8 rounds. That's one. Somebody is like, let's say you're listening or you're not listening. Say that every day I'm going to listen for 1 hour. Some lectures I'll go and put. Or you can say that I'm going to read Bhagavad Gita. So this is one I will suggest everybody of you. Why don't you read for this month? Read only the translation of Bhagavad Gita. Translation. This is the translation. Don't you need to read the purport? Read the 700 translation. Yes. 700. It won't take much time. Maybe in 10 days, 15 days, you will finish, depending on how much you are reading. Just read the translation into it. So that's one example. Okay. So make some vow and do it. Increase your sadhana and you'll see wonders in your life. Okay. So that is my request. Other things, there will be a special arti. It's called Damodar Astakam, which will be which the devotee do during this month to glorify Krishna and his pastime. So everybody does it in their house. The devotee they do. So if you would like to know how to do it, we can teach you. Some of the devotees they are inviting other devotees to come to their house, and they are putting a spiritual party. Okay. So Pragya Mataji is inviting one day. Tuesday 22nd October. So I will please block your time. Make sure that you go to her house. Let's perform the arti together. Because when we do the party together, it's a lot of fun. So spiritual party. If we do it together, Krishna really likes it. And when Krishna likes it, he becomes very happy. Becomes very happy. Radharani becomes very merciful. And the bhakti department is with who? Radharani. Lot of mercy. Sale. Mercy sale. Okay. So utilize that. Then one other Nima Mataji, she's from previous class. She is also doing it on 18th of October. So we'll let you know. So 18th is Friday, and then 22nd is Tuesday. Let's make sure that we are able to go to, and then at house, either you do the Damodar Astakam at home, or you try to do at house. Let's say Srila Prabhu, if it is a little difficult for you, you can play the YouTube video of Damodar Astakam, and in your heart offer the diya. If you have the picture of Radha Krishna, and we can give you the picture also. It is Damodar month, so it is the Yashoda Ma and Damodar. It's a little Krishna. Yeah. What is?
I have. If you want, I can bring.
Yeah. So see that you see that DT form. Yeah. So on the top, right? Yes, that one. So that's what devotee focus on. It is Bala Leela of Krishna, right? So he did all the things when he was so little, and that tells Krishna is not ordinary person. And he was so mischievous. He will break the pot. He will steal the dresses of gopis and all those stuff, right? So we are focusing on those pastimes, saying that Krishna, you are so merciful. So in the next class, we will read the meaning of Damodar Ashtakam also, and we'll try to do the Damodar Ashtakam also in the next class so that everybody learns. But try to do so in your house, so you can do it, and you can take any lamp, any ghee lamp, or and you can try to you can do it. If that is not possible, try to do in your heart. Like put it and try to do in your heart. But it's good. I think it's not that difficult. You can try to do it. Okay. So anybody, whatever your household allows, don't go against your household wishes. Okay, whatever household allows. Okay, that is very important. But utilize it as much as possible. Okay, this is a wonderful time. Anything else you want to add?
No, nothing.
No?
I mean, I still remember those days we were doing here last year, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
year has
Yes.
passed.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So everybody online, Balu Prabhu, Hima Mataji, Punya Prabhu, Santosh Prabhuji, Sapan Prabhuji, Shruti Mataji. Any questions you have, please reach out to us individually. We'll help you. But this is the time. Utilize this even to accelerate. This is the time to accelerate. Okay, accelerate our sadhana.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. So we will end the class. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna to all of you. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Stop.